Well, update from the Supreme Court. The apex body has said that it won't interfere in the Gyanvapi Mosque survey that is going on as per the directives of the local High Court. And this time around, the Muslim side, after the verdict came on Thursday, had moved Supreme Court against this survey that is being conducted at the Gyanvapi Mosque, which began Friday morning. But this time around, Supreme Court too says that वो इसमें हस्तक्षेप नहीं करेंगे. They won't interfere in this. Kabir, how do you interpret this? Obviously, we had a very clear mandate from the Allahabad High Court yesterday, and today the Supreme Court also stamping the authority.
Clearly. To understand the significance of why the Supreme Court has said that it is not going to, interfere in the Allahabad High Court's verdict is because, let's take a look at this. The ASI with their 30-member team came to Varanasi a half a fortnight back. They entered the Gyanvapi Mosque premises and they started carrying out the survey. When instantly, it was on Monday when the SLP, the court admits those special petitions. It admitted a petition from the Muslim side, and the Muslim side said that, this is in teeth with your own order from before. So basically, what they're doing is wrong right now. The Supreme Court, carried out an urgent hearing. They called up the SG. They asked the SG Tushar Mehta to call up the archaeological survey that was carrying out the survey over there and ask them if any brick is being removed or not, what kind of khudai hone wali hai, is there some sort of excavation that's going to take place. The SG says no, nothing like that is going to happen. Supreme Court says, all right, you know what, if you have a problem, you have 3-4 days, go to the Allahabad High Court and take this district judge's verdict about that has upheld the archaeological survey. Take it up with the Allahabad High Court. Yesterday, the Allahabad High Court gave that verdict that for the sake of justice, we are going to carry out with this, this survey. Instantly, we got to know that the Muslim side today is going to approach the Supreme Court. Mondays, and after Mondays, it's Fridays when the special petitions are, carried out, taken into consideration. The bench gathered, and there was a Passover given earlier in the day. Also, it's Friday today, so the Muslim side also appealed that, we've got our own namaz to offer and our prayers to offer, so can we take it up a little later? Now, the Supreme Court has come in and it said, we will not interfere in this. Why? Because, well, firstly, this kind of case, it needs, there are at least 18 different pleas that are being heard all across Varanasi, Pankaj. All across Varanasi.
On
Gyanvapis.
There is Shringar Gauri, then there are
different aspects. So, 18 different cases that are being heard. All of that collective verdict is going to come on the 28th of August. Meanwhile, you have the Muslim side that is time and again going and knocking the door of the Supreme Court, and the apex court this time has said that, look boss, we're not going to interfere. You have the district court, you've got the Varanasi court, you have the Allahabad High Court. Everybody has come out and they've upheld this survey. Let the survey be carried out. On the other hand, the 5 Hindu women, their basically call is that, there was a mandir here, there's a deity, the idol here. We need permission to worship here. The other side is asking for proof. The 5 plaintiffs are saying, how will we give you proof? We don't have any proof.
So hence the survey.
Hence why the survey comes in, the Archaeological Survey of India comes in. So let the ASI carry out the survey, the truth will come out, that's the idea. But why? The contention here again is the Places of Worship Act, 1991, which says, 1947 में जो भी जगह places of worship की थी, their character will not change. To which other politicians, including Asaduddin Owaisi, you must quote him here because he represents the Muslim side a lot in the country. He's come out and said that फिर आप सब कुछ खुदवा दीजिएगा क्या? If tomorrow a Jain community comes and says that, there was a temple here before this, there was a Jain temple underneath this monument, will you start digging every place, XYZ place? That can't happen, right? Hence the 1991 Places of Worship Act. That is something that we'll have to look at. These 18 different petitions, now that people are gathering, trying to understand what the Gyanvapi case is, I think people should also understand and talk about the 18 other cases that are happening in and around Varanasi. Personally, in my limited opinion, I think on the banks of Ganga, Varanasi, confluence of culture and education, you've got this wall that is shared by a mosque, an ancient mosque, and Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, one of the holiest shrines in the country. All of this, if somebody clicks a picture and shows it to somebody else, I'd say that is India. That is our diverse culture. But right now, it seems like politics aside, the legal battle, the survey has been upheld. Supreme Court is not going to interfere and the survey is going to be carried out. How long will the survey be carried out? What comes out of the survey? is a different question altogether. The Wazu Khana, the ablution area, that is secured.
That is
secured. You can't touch that.
That is one of the criterion that the court has put, saying that you cannot carry the survey in that area, and that is one of the issues that these 5 women petitioners had raised, along with others, saying that that is supposed to be a shivling in that area, and therefore you need to have a survey there. But the court has said that that will be protected as of now, and there wouldn't be survey carried out in that area. But however, the walls and other things will be subjected to the survey, and also it is being said that the Supreme Court did try to understand as to how the survey is being carried out, and it is being said that there are efforts to say that if they want, they can get the entire survey video streamed as well, so that nobody comes to the conclusion that there's some damage would be done to the structure, because that was also one of the concerns. So it looks like both from the courts, I think from the lower court to from the Varanasi court to the High Court to the Supreme Court, they are convinced that the survey is not going to disturb the structure, and that is why the permission is being, continuously being given. Everybody is worried. Yeah, they're worried about what would happen.
Once the excavation takes place, at least the perspective is ki dekhe masjid gir gayi. That's the idea, which is why people are trying their best. Ki survey, Muslim side has boycotted the survey. How does that help? And how does that intervene into the functioning of the ASI survey? The survey will still go on. You can boycott it for 10 more days. The survey will continue to go on.
Supreme Court is trying to keep both the parties in mind, and it is saying that this survey is not just a piece of paper. The findings of the survey won't just be a document.
Of course.
Rather, it would be a proof for both the sides, and it can be kept under sealed cover also whenever it comes, the ASI. So obviously, keeping the sensitivities that you are mentioning, keeping them in mind, obviously Supreme Court is also towing the line very cautiously, as is expected. And secondly, the whole idea as of now, which appears, is to continue with the survey, because a series of court matters have led to that. There are other cases also, 18 odd cases that you are mentioning, including the Gauri, Lakshmi Shringar Gauri case also.
Right.
That is the maintainability of that is also in question. Help me understand here, Varghese, that when it comes to cases like these, where it's not just judiciary but also several religious bodies are involved also, if we talk about. So in that scenario, the kind of caution that is required.
Just before you answer, the comments that are doing the round are Mahadev 1, Muhammad 0. That's the political connotation. And why I'm saying political connotation, because you have to understand it's ahead of 2024. It's impossible to not look at anything under the political lens. And Varanasi is Prime Minister's home turf.
So, I mean, that's the politics part of it. But then when you're talking about, the caution part of it, I think we have to be very cautious, because we have seen how the Ram Janmabhoomi movement had spanned and how it had created so much of fissures as well. And of course, I think the entire impact of that is still, it will take some generations to understand what exactly would be the impact of something that happened in the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. But here, there are a lot of structures like this across the country, and as Kabir was saying, quoting a voice, saying that if you're going to start digging places, I mean,
there's no end.
There is going to be. You'll find Buddhist viharas, stupas. They're going to find a lot of issues as well. But then, when we go through this particular structure, the fact remains is that this case in 1991. Actually, this case went parallel with the Ram Janmabhoomi movement case of 1991. So, in 1991, what happened is that there was a seer who went ahead and filed the case in 1991, and then it was in kind of abeyance because the 1991 Worship Places Act came, and then 1998 they pulled up that issue as well. You had the mosque committee, in fact, going, and there was a demand for survey from back then itself. So the mosque committee approached the court, and then they cited this, and for almost 22 years this was kept in abeyance. And then in 2019, a petitioner, in fact, comes up and files a petition for the original petitioner again, and then this case comes into the focus back again, and then you have the women asking for worship rights inside the temple also coming to the fore. So this is how, something like this, because the entire attention was on Ayodhya and Ram Janmabhoomi movement and on Ram Janmabhoomi as well as Babri Masjid complex. Since the attention was there, this was not significantly seen. But now, this looks like that since the issue has been settled with regards to the the temple in Ayodhya. This is now the next boiling issue that has come to light. So I think now this momentum is slowly being built, whether by forces political or not, but it's being slowly being built. Because if you look from 1991 to 2023, it's a long, it's a long time that has passed, especially with regards to this. And right now, as you said, there are several religious bodies that are coming slowly, joining with the cases as such. It started with a single petitioner, but there are several others who are coming. And then, of course, you have two different religious bodies going to be involved, because it's a religious structure at the end of the day.
Right. Kabir, taking a look at what Allahabad High Court had said and what Supreme Court has said today, both of them have actually spoken on the similar lines, that it is beneficial, advantageous for both the parties that this survey is whatever it brings out. So in this scenario also, a complete objection to the particular directive from the court. Well, they have all the rights. Anyone has all the rights to challenge any verdict, in the highest court of the law. But do you believe that it is taking it too far or testing the waters too much to actually challenge this as transparent a thing like a survey by Archaeological Survey of India?
Well, probably this is the fear that has been existing for a long time, especially when it comes to such structures. How will historically things would throw up? And I was speaking about how we are a country with a lot of historical negativities as well. We have to acknowledge that part of it.
Right. Kabir, final word from you.
Yeah, absolutely. My final opinion is that, of course, the truth should come out. Because the truth will help and benefit both the parties. On the contrary, I've been thinking that, because of the Har Har Mahadev chants right outside Varanasi, you don't hear any chant coming from the Muslim side. It just makes you feel like they're on the weaker end. But they've been playing their cards very smartly in terms of the judicial bodies. They got everything postponed. Now, everybody's saying that we don't want to interfere, and everybody's upheld the archaeological survey. Them boycotting this doesn't really help, because now the team has gone in. But with the ASI team, no Muslim sides member are there inside.
Right.
Is it a situation of shooting yourself in the foot or not? Well, we'll have to wait and find out.
We'll have to wait and find out. Definitely, Supreme Court today giving two crucial verdicts. And as this legal battle, the chess, the moves continue, now we leave you with how India plans to place itself at the United Nations Security Council Mission UNSC. Up next, only on News 9 Plus.